Staffing, I can't say that we have a grant writer on board, because we don't, and I don't know, in saying that, I didn't hear from 360 that they do that. I think that from, correct me if I'm wrong, and I don't know, again, Ernie's on, but I don't know if I misunderstood, I don't think that I did, but I'm saying, what I'm understanding is they're saying that they prepare the grant. It's my understanding, okay, and it's, I'm glad he's on, but that's my understanding of,
Cause that's what I heard, he said he
Preparing.
prepares the grant.
that's, and I just wanna make sure that that's clear, is that I'm not 100% sure, but that's my understanding of what was conveyed and what's in the agreement.
And Ernie, we're gonna ask you one quick question. You prepare the grants?
That's correct. We research it, Mayor, we write it, we submit it, and we track the progress of the grant, and we also manage it once it comes, once
Okay.
a city's awarded the grant.
Okay, all right, you've answered that question. Okay, very good.
And a lot of our grants didn't go through because we didn't have a comprehensive plan and we didn't have,
Well, shovel it.
yeah, we didn't have the stuff for the grants to go through.
A lot of it boils down to the.
And we're behind in our audits.
Right.
So we need to make sure we understand, and I will not give credit to a company that comes in, and if they do get, I will not give credit that they automatically brought us these grants. We as a city are moving forward. We are putting things into place to be able to qualify for these grants and to apply for these grants. Our audits are up to date, we're getting a comprehensive plan, and then our water, our drainage, plan.
Yep.
All of those are very important, and some of them, you need those in order to even apply for the grant.
Which we've got them.
We barely started getting them.
No, we got them.
Yeah, we got them now.
We got
So
it.
that's what I'm saying, now we're able to be more successful in the grant writing process for that you're getting approved. And this is the first time in many, many years that our audits are up to date. And we cannot forget that.
Yeah, I think that goes without saying. Councilman Leo.
Fred, in their contract, the 360, it doesn't mention nothing about grant writing.
Right, if you look at the scope of work, I didn't read anything in there. Now, she did mention it in her discussion, she did say that they have a grant writing branch. And again,
Yes, she said they have one in Washington.
but I didn't, it's not in the scope of work. It's not in the scope of work, and from what I gathered in her discussion, they don't help prepare the grant. They may look at it, review it after you prepared it.
Well, if she's on, y'all should ask him the questions.
That's
and
right.
ask her. Yeah,
If she's
y'all are
on,
giving
no.
him an opportunity.
She's not on.
She's not on.
She's not on.
But again,
Can I ask him something real quick?
Yeah. Right. Ernie, Councilman Leal has a question for you.
Ernie, where's your grant writing office at?
In San Antonio,
San Antonio. So not in Washington.
no, we do
Okay.
have a branch in Washington, but, our grant writing team is in San Antonio, Texas.
Okay. Mayor, this is an action item.
It is an action item.
I'd like to make
Okay,
a motion.
okay, hold on just a second. All right. Okay, before we go to that, and any other questions, anybody else have? Okay. All right, that being said, I will entertain a motion, Councilman
can I
Leal.
ask that we allow to negotiate still, because there's still some.
Yes.
Particularly in the.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, as it is written, understand this, you guys are going to pick a firm,
So
and then,
he can negotiate.
and he can negotiate the terms of the agreement, but you're going to pick the firm. So, Councilman Leal.
I'd like to make a motion to approve EMC and have Fred negotiate contract.
Okay, there is a motion on the floor to allow Fred to negotiate the contract for EMC by Councilman Leal. Do I have a second?
I second.
There's a second by Councilman Trevino. Is there any questions? Okay. All in favor, please raise your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Those opposed?
Against.
1. Motion passes 5-1. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, council, moving on. Okay, item 8C, discuss and consider merger repair for the Cherry Plant, authorizing city manager to enter into a contract with Alsay Inc. in the amount not to exceed $54,800 for repairs. This is an action item. We'll take a motion.
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Leal. May I have a second? Second by Councilman Trevino. City manager?
Now that we've got you all tired, we're gonna ask for some money.
No money.
But this is definitely a need, and I'll let Hector touch on the item As y'all know, we had water issues, during the break, and we're still making efforts to get, all the plants running, but this will be one repair that needs to be done.
Hector,
I'll make this as simple as possible. Cut to the chase. I've got plant number 2 down, and I need $54K to fix it.
Okay, y'all are gonna fix it and it's gonna break.
If you look at the notes, you see that this plant was, originally, when it was realigned in 2020,
That was my fault.
when it was realigned in 2020, we opted to go with the same parts and,
Cause we just fixed that one.
correct, we realigned it.
There was a rehab done, and we didn't.
So we can throw that money
We were
away.
using bond money, at the time, there was still the question to utilize bond money for other projects. So that it was a fix to get it up and going, but it needs this repair. It needs it.
Okay, any other questions? Councilman Leon?
I forgot his name. Hector,
Call me whatever, at this point, call me whatever you want. Get over with. Come on.
Hector, a few months ago, we did another pump, right?
The east plant,
The east plant.
yeah, we're still
So-
working on it.
We're still working on that one.
Correct.
So this is the
Cherry.
plant.
Correct.
So then we'll have 2 more wells that we haven't touched, right?
We have 2 wells working right now, the two major plants are up and running, the Colorado and the North plant. And then we have the 2 feeder plants down, they support the interior part of the town.
Well, Hector, I think that you have us in a bind right now where we have our hands behind our backs.
And we
might
have
as well
to fix
approve
it again.
Well,
And-
I'm gonna comment on that, we have a motion in second, but it's not Hector's fault, I'm sure. I'm just trying to solve the problem.
We,
So-
I think we
Well,
need to
someone
hire,
has to take
we
it.
have to hire somebody before we spend thousands of dollars. How much did we spend on the fix last time?
On this one,
the original.
the rehab of Cherry,
The one that we just fixed, this one that we're fixing? Cause we,
no, the rehab occurred about 2 years ago.
okay, yeah, so,
But
Yeah,
on that one, I think we spent close to 90,000.
and then we're doing it again?
No,
Yes.
we're basically making the repairs that we opted not to make in 2020. because we-
And who told us not to make that? Did we have somebody come in and give us advice, or?
Yeah, we had,
What company was that gave us that advice to opt out?
at the time, it was, well, they asked as an option. At the time, again, like most cases, it's about money. We didn't have ARP money, all we had was bond money, that was it. There was no other operating money so that's what we're saying, and right now, we have money to fix it. You wanna fix it, great, you don't, fine.
So money's not an option no more?
Yeah, it's gotta get fixed.
Yeah, we gotta fix this, guys. There's a motion and a second on the table, any other questions?
Wow.
Okay, all right, let's vote, all in favor of fixing the well, say aye.
Aye.
I didn't hear you.
Aye. Or,
Well, okay, all in favor of fixing the well, raise your hand. Okay, all opposed?
I'm only voting no because
Okay.
I wanna
One
know,
vote, that's all right.
and we get
At
more for the record.
9:45.
For the record, I wanna state that I think before we fix something, that we should have somebody engineer it, look at it, before we spend another $80,000.
It's 54.
We'll probably be here in 2 years again.
It's 54,000.
Or 54,000.
The initial repair, what LED
That's
did look at
why
that.
I'm
The
moving
initial repair, you're right, the initial repair, this repair now, again, there is no engineer, we could do that, it'll take 3 to 6 months to get fixed.
And I trust these guys, they know what they're doing. So, acting city secretary, the motion passed 5-1.
5-1.
All right, moving on, the next item, item 8D, action item, discuss and consider assisting the Frio Chamber with a filing fee in the amount not to exceed $500. This is an action item, I'll ask for a motion.
motion.
Motion by Councilman Leal, may I have a second by Councilman Gondeta. This is to get our Chamber of Commerce up and running, they need some seed money to get that filed with the Secretary of State. Are there any other questions?
No.
Hearing none, I'll ask for a
Money's not the
vote, all in
option.
favor?
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. We've done 8E, 8F. Ordinance number 2023-0102, amending ordinance number 2022-1101, granting to Medina Electric Cooperative a franchise for the operations of lines and for the sale of electric lights and power within certain areas of the city of Pearsall. This is an action item. I'll call for a motion. A motion by Councilman Leal. May I have a second? Second by Councilwoman Hernandez. City manager?
There's minor modifications to this, we did bring that skill some months back, and Medina Electric requested some additional items. We don't have any issues of this presented to the city attorney, I think we're all good with the minor revisions that are made, but they do want this approved, and approved by the council. That's it. And you can see the changes, on.
Any big ticket items, Fred, you wanna tell us about?
Nothing significant. It's there, the red line, the markups are there. They're in your packet, there's nothing of significance as far as, do you agree with that?
And that's correct. And our apology to council, basically, we went through this and thought we had an agreement, and that's what you approved back in November. But when we sent it back to them with the changes that we both agreed to, then they requested a few minor. They're non-substantive, they're minor, but they asked for them. We have no issue with them, but that's why we're back, simply to make these minor changes. The one important thing that I think that we asked for and we got, that we wanted to point out, was that the 5% franchise fee that we got is the highest they pay, but they've also agreed that if they ever pay anybody more in the future, they will match that for Pearsall automatically. So we'll always be guaranteed the highest franchise fee that they pay.
Okay, sounds like a bargain. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes, right, everybody?
Mayor,
Motion passes.
may we join AG?
Yes, I'm gonna answer that in a minute. Motion passes unanimously on item 8F. Okay, we're gonna do item 8G and H consecutively. They are action items, and it is to consider a time and place to propose a public hearing for two individuals. I'm gonna suggest the next regular business meeting.
Motion.
There's a motion by Councilman Leal to set the next business meeting, next regular scheduled business meeting as the date and time for these two individuals to have their public hearing. There's a motion by Councilman Leal. Was there a second by Councilwoman Rodriguez?
Yes.
Was that correct?
I just have a little comment on this real
Okay,
quick
I'm
before we
calling
go
for
into.
questions. You may answer the question.
Why do we have to set a date and time, and why is a conditional use permit needed if there's already been a mobile home in that area?
I believe there's a time frame in that, meaning, I don't know how long that it's been vacant.
No, they've lived there.
And-
So
and
they're,
I
they're
think-
probably,
I think the
they're
ordinance
probably
begins-
just replacing the mobile home, so anytime somebody
I think somebody-
replaces their home,
I
they
think-
gotta get
I
another
think
permit?
what the ordinance reads, I'll verify this, but it reads, anytime you move a mobile home into the city, you have to get a conditional use permit. So it doesn't say, well, if you're replacing, it doesn't reference that, it basically says if you're moving something in the city limits, you gotta get it approved by.
So do they have to get permission on that land again from the neighbors?
Yeah, we have to go through the whole process.
Why? There's already a mobile home been there.
Yes. We have to go through the process, we ask what the process is. It's in the ordinance, we can review the ordinance.
I
and
think we need to review the ordinance, because if these people already had a mobile home there and they're just replacing it with a new one, having them to go through, okay, I can understand
You're
getting a
saying there's
permit
one
because you're
that's
bringing in
there?
a mobile home back into the community, like I understand that, to make sure it's within compliance. But I don't think their property needs to go back up and go get letters sent to the neighbors again.
Are you saying that there's an existing mobile home there now?
Yeah, on this property it is, if I'm thinking it's the right one.
Well, let's let Fred
I just
confirm
want to
that.
comment on that. I do know that they had to subdivide, so I think it's a brand new mobile home. Because they're subdividing the property, and I know that that's one of the things that we were gonna ask, only because they haven't brought the survey
On
in.
which property are you referring to?
For the 1406 East Haines.
Okay, which person, because they
It's
don't
gonna
have
be for
address, they
Gary-
just have names.
Sorry, Gary Hernandez?
Okay, yeah, that's what I was talking about.
Yes, so they re-subdivided and then they placed a new mobile home.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, so we've got a motion and a second. Any other questions?
Well, yeah, they've been over there.
Any other questions? Call for a vote. All in favor? Okay, motion passes unanimously. All right, City Council, you're getting a unique opportunity. I'm going to allow you guys to review items 11 and 12
There's more?
in one motion. That is staff reports and December bills. At this point, no motion necessary, but do you have any questions?
No.
Okay, we've got an opportunity to close this out before 10
If
o'clock.
I did have a
you will.
question,
If-
we've already paid for, we already got the services, we have to pay it.
Motion to adjourn.
Wait a minute, I'm all ears. Go ahead. What was your comment?
My thing is like, I don't get the thing out of like approving the bill after we've already got the services.
Okay, so noted. Did you wanna make your motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
I see your point.
Right?
So we either not present the bill, or
Right.
have you here every
Right.
day. to-
Right.
to operate.
Yeah, you
There's a
can,
motion.
you can ask for a
Okay.
stack
All right.
something and stack
Wait,
the
wait,
stuff.
Yeah, it's just for your review.
One thing.
We're not approving anything, it's for review.
Okay.
Okay, I have a motion. I have.
Let her
We
Public
have a
information.
general announcement, real quick. It's not for me, so don't hate me. It's, just.
It's from Fred,
Where's
right?
the
It's
message?
from Crystal. Okay, so
Hey,
the
she's
Happy
been
New
here.
Year.
the races for the May 6, 2023 general election will be for mayor and council member places 5, 6, and 7. Just a reminder, these terms are for 3 years. First day to file an application for a place on the general election ballot is Wednesday, January 18th at 8 a.m. Last day to file an application for a place on the general election ballot is Friday, February 17th at 7 p.m. Please contact the city clerk's office for information regarding our upcoming elections. Not me.
Outstanding. We've got a motion to adjourn. We have a second.
Y'all look.
Second by Councilwoman Hernandez. All in favor?
Aye.
Me, what?
Aye.
Cut your
Motion
grass, y'all go to the
passes.
grass, whatever.
Unanimous.